Today, we'll be taking a deep dive into Cassie's lore in the upcoming Security Breach DLC.
From theories, confirmed lore, and more, we'll discover everything that there is to know about her so far.
If you want more theory videos, make sure to click like to let us know and subscribe. Alright, Roxanne, we have met Cassie at this point, but I think it's time we dive a little bit deeper into her and her story, because she didn't really give us any details or any juicy secrets from the game like we wanted.
Well, she can, Gregory. I mean, we have to wait just like everybody else.
I know.
We can still Google and try and figure things out for ourselves.
Definitely. Nothing stopping us from theorizing. So
Definitely
I guess
not.
let's go ahead and just start off just in general. The first time we ever heard about the Ruin DLC, heard about Cassie, and got our first look at everything as well was this poster.
Exactly. This kind of takes us completely back, which it's kind of interesting because in our previous video where we took a deep dive into Roxanne, we really considered, like, well, Roxanne kind of be one of the main focal animatronics for this DLC, but looking at the poster, it really is kind of giving a different vibe because here we obviously have Cassie, who honestly in this poster almost resembles more of Glamrock Chica.
Yeah.
Just so happens to also be in the poster off to the left.
Which is interesting. It is interesting to think about.
It is, because, I mean, I feel like a lot has come out and maybe they decided to go for more of a Roxanne approach, especially with Roxanne being added into the YouTube banner and such.
Yep.
Because
We talked about that in one
Chica.
of our last videos, so definitely check out our deep dive into the ruined Roxanne model.
Yes. So, but for this one, I feel like it's definitely more of a Glamrock Chica vibe.
You know what's actually really interesting with that too? I've actually seen a lot of people talking about how, another thing we kind of talked about was that a lot of the models look completely different, but the only one that doesn't look completely different is Glamrock Chica. She's just kind of more run down. But what if, like even right here, what if they really wanted to make sure that you could memorize what Glamrock Chica was and like really have her color scheme ingrained into you because they really wanted to tie her in with Cassie? Like what if they made sure to keep a lot of her like base plate colors on because they wanted to make sure that there's a connection there?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
maybe.
Because
it's definitely possible.
she's very color-coded, kind of like how I am with Glamrock Freddy, so it kind of makes sense that she would be color-coded with at least one of the other animatronics. Again, we really thought it was
interesting.
Roxanne, but yeah, it could be Chica.
But in the poster, I feel like her color palette looks a lot lighter than it does in the actual trailer. Because in the trailer, she was very purple and red.
Yes, no, you're not wrong. Well, then it's also weird, too, because it's just like, she doesn't have a Glamrock Chica walkie-talkie, she has a Roxanne Wolf one. Which, like,
That's
again,
also
we could just be
true.
looking too much into it. It might not have anything to do with anything. There could be a walkie-talkie for every character at the end of the day. But it's weird to me that in, like, a minute-long teaser, they made sure to, like, Roxanne looks completely different, and they made sure to have her kind of have similar colors to Roxanne, and she had the walkie-talkie, which just makes me feel like they definitely wanted her to be like Roxanne coded, but I don't know.
It's so hard to know. I mean, yeah. Maybe they made a decision to have her along with Glamrock Chica, but they went back on it.
Yeah, I
Who
don't know.
knows?
It's really interesting. It really could be anything. There's also
Very
all of
much
these
so.
really cool images, like this one, which is really interesting. It's literally like, oh my god, is she possessed by Elizabeth Afton?
Which is ironic given all the, you know, Lizzie stuff we've been encountering as of lately, but
Definitely.
I don't know.
Also,
the fan art of you
this
two
wait,
meeting.
there's a ton of hold on. We'll definitely have to go back and look at some of this later, but this is so cool. I love
very
this.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's dive a little bit into the trailer, the teaser trailer again, and we can talk about Cassie. So another thing that I found really interesting is everyone is thinking that she's blonde, which, like, you know, when we met her, she's obviously blonde, but
Right.
like in the game, she looks like she has brunette hair, but I could be wrong.
It is kind of hard to tell, especially at this distance, because if you go back, her legs almost look like she's wearing black leggings and stuff too. So
Yeah.
is it just the lighting, or... Yeah, I really don't know.
It's
We haven't
hard.
had like a really solid picture or view of her face yet at all, so...
No, that's the thing too. The only thing we've gotten from her is this poster. But the thing is, this is over a year old, I think, at this point. So it's like she obviously had blonde hair and like kind of little pigtails here, but I don't think that's what she's gonna be wearing anymore.
It doesn't have to be either. I mean, it was
No.
just a teaser poster, so...
Because the other one, she was wearing a sweater and like a little skirt. This one, she's very much wearing like a hoodie and like black jeans, black leggings, something.
True.
And then she definitely looks like, I don't think those are little pigtail, like, I don't think that's her hair. You know what I mean?
It could almost be like something, because a year ago, obviously, the game had only been out for a few months. Maybe they thought, like, Chica was going to be the next, like, fave character, so they kind of made her blonde with the pigtails and themed her around her. But then recently they saw that Roxanne, no offense, Chica, was more of a loved character, so they wanted to be... I don't know, it's so hard.
I mean, it makes sense. I feel like Roxy and Monty both make sense to be big characters because, like, at the end of the day, I mean, Freddy's just gonna be huge no matter what, and everyone loves Chica, but, like, Monty and Roxy are both brand new animatronics, so, like, they're kind of like the shiny new mascots for the PizzaPlex. People are, of course, gonna be gravitated towards them.
Exactly, and not to diss Chica more, but I feel like they have more... This whole video should just
I'm
be
so sorry,
Roxanne
Chica.
shading Chica. I feel like Roxanne and Monty have more personality, because Chica's thing through all the FNAF games
Yes.
has been food and pizza and eating trash.
And, like,
so,
her entire thing is that she eats garbage. Like, that's
yeah, so I
unfortunately
think-
kind of all
I
she has
think
going for her in
people
the game.
kind of like the whole like self-conceited, like I'm beautiful but I got destroyed. I run a beauty salon and Roxy's Raceway. Like there's so much to Roxanne that I feel like people really enjoy.
Very
And
much.
That's why you all like, you know, this channel. Not to keep talking about myself, because obviously we're doing a deep dive into Cassie.
You know what, though?
but-
It makes a lot of sense that you're just going to sit here and talk about yourself, Roxanne. So, we're talking about Cassie, though, so we got to move on a little
Yes,
bit.
okay, fine.
What else? So we kind of talked a little bit about... Okay, so here's this. So, I want to know more about Cassie. Like, do we think she is like a technological genius? She's like Dexter's laboratory kind of vibe? Where she can kind of like just do things and she's like super smart? Or do we think she just like found this hacking tool and she's like, I can mess things up with this?
So, something else that I feel like we need to discuss, which also goes into hand what you're saying, is her relationship with Gregory. So, was she like some technological wizard that decided to break into the pizza place
Wizard?
and look for Gregory, who was like, what, her little brother, her big brother? Like, are you related to her? Is Cassie your family?
I don't know.
Or, like, what is the...
Well, that's
the
the other thing too.
relation.
I don't think Cassie knows either.
But, like, you know who Cassie is somehow.
But
Because
what
you
if
call
it's
for
not
her.
me?
It could be the mimic as well.
That's another huge thing. Which then, though, begs the question, what is her tie to the mimic?
Literally, why does the mimic care? Like, why just... I guess FNAF's lore in general is luring little kids into their death, but, like...
Yeah. The thing is, I will say, Security Breach, as scary of a game as it is, I definitely think it took a kind of backseat on the horror aspect and more on kind of like the world building aspect. That's really what they wanted to build up. But this DLC very much seems like it's leaning more into the horror aspect of FNAF instead. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I really
yes.
think that this is definitely going to be more FNAF feeling than Security Breach was. I love Security Breach and it was really cool and it was a huge game for the franchise, but it was a huge step away from the original types of games. So this one seems like it's going to be scarier. It has, you know, the whole thing with like the monitors and stuff where you have to like watch
The cameras,
like they had
right.
that a little bit in Security Breach, but it seems like it's going to be more of an actual like mechanic in the DLC, which is cool to see.
definitely there's more odes to the old FNAF games because we
Yes.
have that playing sound situation, we have the camera monitors, which is like this big hacking thing that Cassie has access to with this device that she's holding here.
Yeah.
So I
It's
don't
also
know.
just like, I'm not trying to be that person, but she also just kind of just looks like she's like, this looks like it'll do something.
I
You
mean,
know what
she
I mean?
very well could
She's
be.
like, oh, let me just twist this thingy.
Yeah. I mean, she's a child, so how is she going to know how any of this stuff works?
No,
you know?
you're so right. Okay, because yeah, this hacks into it. Is there anything specific on here? I mean, it tells us also security camera station. Is that something
Yes.
we've ever seen before?
I don't think so. I think that's the big thing with this DLC. It's what was shown on the website is the big thing that opens up that she's able to hack into.
This thing.
Yes, this
Okay.
is the security camera station.
Okay.
I think it's kind of like a briefcase, which was shown in the first security breach, if I'm not mistaken.
All right.
And it's definitely going to be a big thing for this
And
DLC.
you know what this makes me feel like? If this is just something that was in the first game, part of me feels like this is something that we steal from Vanny. Like, who else would have something like this?
I don't know. It
Just
very
a
well could have been
briefcase that can
something from
hack
Vanny.
into the PizzaPlex servers and cameras? That sounds like a very
Essentially.
Vanny thing. Like,
Yeah.
who else would need that?
So that's going to be a huge thing for Cassie to use, and obviously she's using it here. And then she has to play something over the intercom. Whatever the heck this is. This looks like some Among Us situation.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, I just noticed, I never noticed it till now, but like all the mirrors and stuff are even shattered, which is like
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
Like some
the beauty
stuff
salon,
went down in the beauty
And
salon.
look at the floor too. Like the floor
It's
is like
cracked
warped
right
and
here.
destroyed. Like it's even got like a curvature.
Oh, yeah,
to
right
it.
here.
Like it's seen some better days. So
It
this
really
is almost
has.
like years later. It looks
Oh, yeah.
like, but
That's it. Like, we kind of talked about that a little bit before as well, but I'm like, we still don't even know the time frame. Like, again, how long
Mhm.
after the original game is this? Because there definitely had to be enough time for all of the flyers at the beginning to kind of cover all the windows. You know, it
Mhm.
looks like very much they were also trying to keep everyone out, but
Oh, definitely, but they didn't succeed.
No.
That's for sure. With all
mean,
the graffiti.
in the day and age we live in, if something is abandoned, people are gonna find their way in there and start vlogging.
Oh,
So
100%. Yeah.
let's see. So we got the camera. The other big thing is the walkie-talkie. See, the weird thing is too, we talked about kind of her hand being more Roxanne coded, but at the end of the day, Chica also has green on her.
True, but she doesn't have green fingernails.
You're right, and Roxanne does. So
Indeed, she does.
I don't know.
And
It's gonna be
toes.
interesting to see for sure. Oh, here's another really good look. A lot of people have been talking about how gruesome this jump scare is, which I think is actually really interesting. Definitely a lot scarier. Like, she is like fighting for her life here.
Yep. It's because Monty's the only one left with a mouth, too, so
Also,
it's scary.
you know what I'm seeing actually right now?
What's that?
I think these are white. And if
What?
that's the case, the little balls, I think these are white. And if that's the case, this is very Glamrock Chica coded. She also has pink
Hmm.
under her thing. Hold on. Does Glamrock Chica...
Well, if you
Glamrock...
compare them to Monty's teeth, I feel like they still look kind of light bluish.
Yeah. Well, Glamrock Chica's whole thing, though, too, is, like, star. Okay, it's not all stars, but, like, her thing is a star, and the fact that we have, like, little stars on the bracelets.
True.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Do we think she's gonna be, like, Roxanne or Chica themed? Because I
Looking
don't
at
know.
the colors here, I feel like it still looks very Roxanne.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It really depends. I guess the jacket definitely looks red. If you compare
Oh,
that
for
to
sure.
Monty's hair,
Yes.
that's definitely red. If you look at the balls compared to Monty's teeth, which are definitely white, I feel like they look more grayish, like
Grayish blue, yeah.
which would have more of a tie to Chica because I'm pretty sure her eyes are blue.
Oh, okay.
But still, I don't know.
I don't
It's
know
so
either.
hard.
There's also some other stuff I wanted to check out. Like this right here, we have Cassie will seek to fix Gregory's mistakes, which I think is really interesting. Each entry of the Tales of the PizzaPlex series features a collection of short stories detailing a range of minor and major events at the PizzaPlex through the use of parallel characters and events. Of the stories, few are explosive as, I don't know what GGY is, from the series' 5th volume, the Bobby Dots conclusion. This seemingly reveals the true nature of Gregory's time at the PizzaPlex prior to the events of Security Breach, which is also really interesting. Gregory, likely under the Glitch Trap's virus control, hacks the PizzaPlex's arcade cabinets and animatronics using a modified play pass, leaving his digital signature, which also makes me feel... Is the modified play pass, is that the thing that I used in the first game, or is that like what we're talking about?
I think so.
With Cassie's new like hacking mechanic thing. I think we had a play pass in the first game. I think that's what
it's
it was
you
called.
Because it says leaving his digital signature.
For sure.
So.
And then it says later the story connects the dots between Gregory and a series of missing person cases, providing a direct connection to Security Breach's retro CD recordings. So it also could be interesting. I feel as though I keep calling her Cassidy, which is also something I wanted to talk about, but I feel like I have a connection with Cassie of some sort where, like, I feel like maybe we were both missing children and we knew each other in, like, an orphanage or, like, some sort of place. So maybe I went missing and I haven't come back yet, but, like, maybe she was able to track me down to the PizzaPlex and she wanted to come looking for me.
Definitely possible. I mean, at the end of the day, nothing is impossible when it comes to FNAF.
You're not
as
wrong.
we've learned many times. Oh.
And then, speaking of the name, this is another thing that I even have to admit. When I first heard that her name was going to be Cassie in the DLC, the first thing that came to my mind was Cassidy. Which is an original character, funny enough, is Princess Quest.
Yep.
But she is an older character from FNAF, and a lot of people are thinking that Cassie is short for Cassidy. And
there's a lot of people saying that she's a robot,
yeah,
too.
it's very
What the heck?
interesting. Well, it's also cool because Princess Quest had a huge part in Security Breach because you had to play the game to get secret endings and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of tied it in a little bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. I want to see what this person said. They say, no, I do believe Cassie is short for Cassidy, but this person doesn't think she's an advanced robot. I believe that Cassidy escaped the 3 Princess Quest arcade games, which is why the princess's name changed from Cassidy.png to just Princess.png, since Cassidy is no longer the princess in the Princess Quest arcade games. I believe her soul possessed one of the Glamrock endoskeletons and used an illusion disc to make her look human, like I believe with Gregory.
Whoa!
Where Gregory was a robot specifically designed to be a robot recreation of Evan, who was possessed by Evan.
Oh my
Cassie
gosh!
was possessed of Glamrock and what?
Wait, this just sent me into a whole nother spiral.
So, I don't think
Am I a robot?
No, I don't think Cassie's a robot either. I've got to just say, I'm pretty sure she's just a human girl.
Yeah, I will say, when it comes down to FNAF and FNAF lore and theories, people go a little crazy, which I think is so fun, though, because we have no idea anything about these characters. At the end of the day, I could be a robot. I don't know.
I mean, I guess the whole thing with FNAF is children ghosts possessing endoskeletons, and I guess that could actually be the case for the PizzaPlex and Security Breach and everything. I don't know.
It's a lot. Let us know what you guys think in the comments
Please.
below, because my head is kind of hurting now.
Same.